Father meets you here. Here. If you don't make it right here with him, there'll be no getting to the end destination.
Shalom family. In this teaching nugget taken from my 2019 series called The Journey of Abraham, we look at this mysterious place called the wilderness, in the Hebrew word Bamidbar. This is the place where Father breaks you, makes you, and perfects you. Let's check it out. I'll see you on the other side. Shalom.
This is the world that you and I live in. Everything around us is a false reality. It's barren. It's dry. There's nothing here for you. But what I like about the wilderness, and I love about the wilderness, is the word itself. The word itself gives you a clue. The word wilderness comes from the word Bamidbar in Hebrew. And Bamidbar's root word is to order the word. To put the word in order. In other words, it's here where Yahweh is going to put your life in order. Through the word. It's here where you are made. But there's nothing here for me. It's just barren. It's like, what is this? It's like, you call this Hebrew roots, but there's nothing here. I had more in my other church. This is just empty. There's nothing. There's no men here. There's no women here. There's nothing. But this is where Father's going to put your life into order. With the word and through the word. And I love the thing about the wilderness. When you're in this, picture yourself here, you soon develop a thirst for pure water. You don't want tea, you want pure, clean water. I saw a hand raised.
You touched on it, but in that very place there, again spiritually I've proven it, that Yah is going to work miracles out of nothingness, just like when he created the Shamayim and the earth and the sea, right? He said, let there be, and it was.
Yes.
Now, this is where our faith needs to be. I think I'm going to stop talking.
No, talking.
Now, because, listen, I'm so heated up, brethren, about the Father that we serve, right? Mm-hmm. I know he can work miracles in the wilderness. And I'm speaking from hindsight anyway, after the fact, that they could have walked through the dry desert and Yah would have provided. He would have made sure that they were watered, that goods were provided, or what they had on life when they went through the wilderness. Yeah. That everything.
And he would do this. He would do this because he's done it.
I'm saying. Yeah. So that's the extent that we need to prove the Master, because he does these things. He brings death to life. He brings dryness to water and fluency, and providence and abundance. So we need to trust in Yah more and stop distrusting him, because at the end of the day, that's what Yah wants from us, our trust and our faith and our obedience.
What? Just want to touch on what you're saying. You mentioned about, that's the word, I think it was lacking in faith and trust in Yahweh, because I'm sure further on in the story, you hear there was, in Canaan, when he reached there, there's a drought, and Abraham then fled to Egypt. You see, so that's about lacking in trust, that the Father's going to provide for you. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's just short and sweet.
Let me share with you a revelation about this place. Remember, the goal is to get to Canaan, yeah? Mm-hmm. We all have a picture we think in our minds of when I get to that place with Father, when I get to the place Father wants me to be at. But the truth is, you might think this is a station on the way to the goal, to being with Father, but this is the place where Father is. This is the place. Father meets you here. Here. It's here, again, several hundred years later, when the descendants of Abraham would meet Father in the wilderness on their way to Canaan land, but Father met them in the wilderness. It's in the wilderness where you are perfected. If you don't make it right here with him, there'll be no getting to the end destination. You've got to get it right here. This is where Israel made it or failed it. in the wilderness. If you don't get it right here, there'll be no Canaan land for you. The part that looks boring and wish we could just get to, this is where you've got to work it out. This is your make or break. And this is where Father is deliberately, the very thing that you're thirsting for, he's creating that insatiable thirst for water, because he's trying to say, come unto me, all ye that are thirsty, and I will give you life. It's here where we have to make it. Along the journey in the Bamidbar, that's the book of Numbers actually. The book of Numbers is his Greek name, but his real name in Hebrew is Bamidbar, which means wilderness. You will meet all sorts of characters, some passionate, some zealous, some very religious, many who are deceived. You'll meet them all in this wilderness. This is all the churches right in this place. The Hebrew word for crazy people is meshuggah. You're going to meet some meshuggah people. You're going to meet, where the word sugar comes from, by the way. Sugar comes from the word meshuggah, because sugar makes you crazy. Right? Murderers, thieves, robbers, wicked and corrupt, evil men and women, demons, Satans, but you still have to walk in love with an upright heart. So all of this wilderness, you're going to meet all of these types of people, but Father wants to see how you dwell in the wilderness. Father wants to see you upright in a corrupt, crooked generation. Can you see how all this parallels to your life?
That's right. I'm
coming close to the end for today. It's here you're going to learn some things. And I'm in the wilderness with Father. Father! Father! Where are you? Father! Ever notice when in an examination, teachers are always silent during the test? When you're going through a test, the teacher will just be silent. Why is Father choosing of all times to be silent when I need help right now with this test? Because I've already given you all the instruction you need to pass the test. This would not be a test for you. It's not a test for me. It's a test for you. If I were helping you right now to overcome this, I've given you everything. I'm with you. I'm not going anywhere. But I'm just choosing to be silent right now. Because you're going through a test. It's times like this when you have to learn this particular prayer. Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Abraham knew all this. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Yahuwah forever. Even though King David wrote this psalm, Abraham lived it. He lived it. He knew every day about walking through many, many places where the shadow of death was right there. I'm sure he saw many cattle, many people even perish. Already from the beginning, he's seen his own family members die off. And I keep saying to you, sometimes people need to die off in your life because they're holding you back. Some things in your own thinking need to die off. Canaan means lowland, a place of humbling. This is where they are meant to arrive. Notice the place name is called place of humbling. Father wants you to go to a place that means humbling. There's nothing about this Bible that's just random. Every place name has been put there deliberately by Father. Father wants you and I to get to a place where we are humble. And to get you to be humble, I'm going to have to humble you. And that's the breaking. It's not nice. But Father's breaking is your making. He's the potter of your wheel of life. And if he decides that this pot right now is defective, I will break it and make it again. And that's the Father's will. And that's the Father's purpose for our lives. And we should rejoice and be glad. Father, break me and make me. Seriously, break me and make me, because if there be any wicked way in me that hinders my salvation, break me.
Hallelujah.
Pastor verse.
Yeah, man.
Break me. and just make me. Because if you break me, I know you'll remake me. But if they break me, I will never recover from that. So this is what the Father does.
Well, I certainly hope that you enjoyed that short message, that this is the place of our refining. It represents the wilderness of the world, the wilderness of sin. We're all in this world, but we're not of this world. But Father wants us to become Israel, which means overcomers of Elohim, princes of Elohim. If you don't have a congregation to fellowship on Shabbat, why not come on over and join us in the Zoom lounge? Every Shabbat, 4 p.m., we go through the Torah Parasha. If you have time, check out the YouTube channel and you'll see some amazing content there for your viewing pleasure. Until the next installment,